Good day, good night, good morning, good afternoon. I guess it is would be
Oh,
that type of
Jesus.
time, but it's good. It's all good. Just what it is. And welcome to Black. No, it's not Black Panther, people. It is the Real Tennis Podcast. We're coming to you live, not from Wakanda, but Wakanda in our minds. We hope we'll be in Wakanda. But
Soon,
it's a
soon. Okay, just give
100
me a
and
couple days, all right?
yeah, because there's somebody over here, in foreign Ohio, apparently they don't have access to movie theaters.
Oh, shut up. We have
They're
access
probably
to movie
still,
theaters.
A request has been made of us, so we got to make it happen.
yeah, I'm
Yes,
sure in
we have
foreign
been
Ohio.
asked to discuss Black Panther, and we will do it as soon as Janina goes. in
Yeah, I'm
season.
in foreign Ohio. I'm sure she's still on the fourth Iron Man movie. That's a local theater.
I've
But
seen Iron Man. Shut up.
you,
Okay, not all of it, bits and pieces. Most of it. I'm sure if I added up all the times. I'm sure if I added up all the times the little fella has watched it, I can probably,
You know
figure
what?
it
Maybe
out
we
from
should
start
bring
to
him on the podcast. Maybe he might be a little bit more helpful.
he can come on during Black Panther, and we can get the perspective of a child.
I don't.
Oh,
We don't
that's
have we don't have a PS4 to keep his attention drawn. I don't.
We
think he'll be
got
into it.
this.
But okay, so welcome to our 113th podcast. We're on a timer, and my co-hostesses with the mostesses have me on lockdown. So before I go any further, let me introduce them. We have Andrine from Solely Tennis Travel, who is just back from Wakanda, I believe,
Yes.
right?
Hello,
Oh my
this
God.
is Andrine, and I've seen Black Panther 4 times.
It
Welcome,
was
Andrine.
released on Thursday, people. It was released on Thursday.
Stop
Funny
talking about things
perspective.
I don't know about.
But I'm
Okay.
not judging her because I saw it a sex twice already. And the only reason why I haven't seen it third and a full time is because my motherfucking friends are playing their ass. So I can't go to the movie theater 3 times in a row by myself. But I saw it once with a friend of mine. But anyway, and we have from foreign Ohio, who's still stuck in the Stone Ages, we have Janina. How are you?
I am not
feeling
stuck
today?
in the damn Stone Ages.
Hi,
I've been
Janina.
busy.
Have you said
Hello.
hello, LeBron? I'm not an athlete, LeBron only.
Shut up and dribble.
Love that.
This
God,
bitch.
you guys right over in that.
Can't we listen? This is not the time. We may be able to fit that in the Black Panther segment, but
Can I introduce myself, please? Can I introduce myself?
I'm sorry.
And
Yes,
the
please
homosexual of
introduce
the
yourself.
podcast, it's Reels. So, ladies, so apparently it's been left to me, people. I have surrounded myself like Black Panther with 2 beautiful, strong Black women. And they decided that they're going to take a break because of Black Panther and to leave this shit to do. And as a man, I fucked up already. I have messed up already. So I'll just say.
Yeah, you've got
But it's
55
a 100
minutes.
it's a 113 podcast, and this podcast is entitled "And Federer is number 1 again, ladies."
Okay.
And unfortunately, we don't have any sound effect to do all the tooting, but we'll get to that. But before we go any further, let's get into some silly news. So there was Fed Cup and there was Davis Cup. I mean, I'm not really interested in the results really until the finals roll around because I don't really care generally. But I've said if Davis Cup had a lot of 5-set action and they didn't have to play until 2 games. They had a 5th set tie break. So that leaves a lot of excitement. But still, Fabio Fonini decided he's going to play for 20 hours.
He did. I think he was Davis Camero.
I mean, like, they tried to shorten that shit down, and Fabio Fonini was just like, nah.
Did he win though?
He
He
won
did.
them all.
Oh,
He
okay.
did.
Matches.
Okay. I mean, if you're gonna
Yes.
play that long, then you need to win.
Yeah, I believe France got through. I think somehow France got through and Belgium got knocked out. I believe so. Anyway, I don't know. I think Switzerland didn't win a single shit, but they were probably in some relegated too. And there was Fed Cup, and I am not sure what happened other than to say I think France won. I know for sure Czech Republic won, and the US won, which was, I mean, the highlight of
The Swiss barely won. I mean, for Martina Hingis' first outing as a captain, she didn't do so well.
Oh, she's their
I think
new
they-
captain.
Did they win? I thought they lost.
Yeah, no, they won. They only won it. They only won the doubles match.
Maybe
Oh,
she
okay.
should have pulled a Leighton Hewitt and been a captain who plays.
She probably should have, but
She probably
she had
should've
already.
doubled.
But they already secured the doubles point, so it's okay. Yeah, it
Right,
wasn't. It wasn't a good outing for them. It was winnable. There were some winnable moments in that matchup, but they couldn't.
I think
do it.
perhaps Bencic is getting herself under a lot of pressure, and maybe she should go back to her old routine of building her way up. instead of like trying to roll
How
back
many
in.
times can she do that?
Well, I mean, like she had.
No,
Not sure.
she needs to start being consistent or beyond the building yourself back up stage of her career. So,
Alrighty
anyways,
then.
And
Yeah.
the Belgians did not.
so
lose.
the U.S.
The Belgians did not lose because the Belgians are going to be meeting the U.S.
Well, and we know
Oh,
that the U.S.
beat
like
Netherlands. Yeah.
totally, yeah, they won, but they totally hyped up Serena's big comeback. And
Well,
then,
I heard through the grapevine. That,
I'm sorry. That was Davis Cup, y'all. So let me just say, wait, pause. Davis Cup.
I know what I'm talking about.
Wait, let's do Davis Cup. France beat the Netherlands. Italy beat Japan. Spain beat Great Britain. Germany beat Australia. That turned out to be really fun. Kazakhstan beat Switzerland. Ugh.
Oh, Lord.
Croatia beat the Canadians. And the US beat the Serbians. And then the Belgians beat the Hungarians 3-2. Really, the closest one was actually the Belgians versus the Hungarian, which was 3-2. I thought the Aussies were going to be much tighter, but that turned out to be less the case. It was only 1-3. Nick Kyrgios only won one of his matches.
That's difficult because Sasha had nothing else to redeem himself for. He don't do shit at the major, so
it was a good show.
You gotta bring it somewhere.
Kyrgios is still hurt, isn't he?
Well, he's always hurt.
That's the thing with Kyrgios. He's, like he came out to deliver that first point, and then midway through the whole thing, he got hurt. I'm not sure what it was, but
I think he's not recovered from whatever was going on during the Australian Open.
I mean, he would benefit from a very select schedule.
Anyway,
He would benefit from that. I'm just saying, you can come out every day. He tried to maximize, find his peaks, and most of them because he's in the valleys for too long. But
so the quarterfinals that are coming up is going to be the US versus Belgium, Kazakhstan versus Croatia, Spain versus Germany. So a chance to see the Spanish going up against Sasha, and then the Frenchies versus the Italians. That feels like something that the Frenchies might just slip over and lose.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say that's going to be the hot mess tie. That's going to be the hot mess tie. I mean, even if there's definitely going to be encore theatrics. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be hell, but Monfils, Sanga's going to be like, they're not cheering for us enough, etc., etc. I can't with the drama. I can't. If I wake up early enough, I might watch it. I believe in the regular tournaments for the for the Fed Cup. I think it was definitely they put out Serena there because I think they were it's about selling tickets because nobody was going to go to North Carolina for anything. Particular sense, they got Nazis and racists running around openly.
Carolina, yeah.
And people die. So I guess they put, as always, you put out some black people and be like, yeah, let's see something going here. But I mean,
it sold out. Sold out right away.
Well, of course it sold out. You had Venus and Serena on the ticket. Of course it sold out. Let's be real. We know who sells tickets.
It was. I didn't know that.
It was all about the black girl magic.
I wasn't aware that Fed Cup matches counted as a pro match. I just thought it counted as like a country match, just like, hey, by the sideway. I didn't know it counted as a professional match because I believe Venus got her 1,000th win.
I don't know.
At the Fed Cup.
They kept saying that, but I didn't think that was necessarily something that we did. I mean, maybe they were just doing that, but I remember that being somewhat surprising that they used the Fed Cup match for that. So I don't know.
Yeah, and added to that bit, it was that they kept saying this was.
They're just worried that she's gonna just be like, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm gonna retire.
Yeah, but they kept saying this was Serena's professional return to tennis, and I was like, it's Fed Cup. This ain't a pro match,
So basic.
It's Fed Cup. Relax. We don't count. You don't generally count Fed Cup unless you want to talk about head to head. You know what I'm saying? I think they had met at Fed Cup once before. Davis Cup.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I didn't get to see a whole lot of it. All I saw was Serena's ass and it was huge. And I could understand why she wasn't ready to play. I want to know what's going on. Either she is like doing some serious photoshopping on her Instagram and feed and stuff, because I saw pictures of her leading up to this and she looked so good. Her body looked amazing. She just looked so in shape. And then I saw her there and I was like, this is not the same woman's body that I saw 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago in a picture. Like, I don't know what's going on. I mean, I'm all for, she just had a baby, she's working her way back. I get that, but I am not seeing the same person on camera than in these pictures. She's trying to trick us for something, because
look, Serena's style might come from it is, I think Serena needs to calm down, relax, and not get the Serena stand to be trying to live her career for her, lead her career, rather, I should say. I'm just saying that, Serena, girl, you just pushed the human out of your body less than about 6 months ago. Okay? You're not a superhuman. You're not a superheroine. You're a human being. And according to you, you almost died. So don't be following these people out here without children or without any real focus in their life, moved on your bandwagon, trying to force you to come back on the toe, thinking you're going to rip up the toe like it's nobody's business. Take your time and come back. And I think, maybe I don't know what was the agreement, but I had no idea. I did not believe that she was going to come back to play singles. Like, it was near impossible, because who's going to tell Coco that she got to sit the fuck down for Serena? Who?
Well, honestly, I thought she would, because I think she would. Yeah, I thought so too, because they said when Madison Keys says that she told them that she'd be available, but it was okay that she wasn't playing. I was like, well, yeah, if they have Serena, then I could see why. Yeah.
You always pick Serena if Serena's ready.
If she was ready. So I was
I don't think that would have been an issue with Coco.
She wasn't ready.
Well, sure, but if
she told them she wasn't going to play. No, she told them she wasn't. She would come, but she wouldn't play singles.
But it wasn't marketed that way. I think that's where we're coming from. I think it was marketed in a way that we thought that she was going to play singles. And I think that I have no idea. I haven't read anything about it. I haven't heard anything about it. But if there was some conversation within the team about who was going to play, I don't really think it would have been an issue to choose Serena over Coco. I don't think that will ever be an issue. She's the better player.
But this is America.
On her good day. But so what we ended up with was the Netherlands. So the U.S. took pretty good care of the Netherlands. 3-1.
And surprisingly, here's the thing about that time. Coco was the one who was not dependable. I thought Venus would have made a soap opera about it. You know what I mean?
No, she was so good. She was so tight.
She was so efficient.
It was weird that Coco wasn't, though, because Coco usually shows up for Fed Cup. She has a really good Fed Cup record.
I mean, considering she gave them the Fed Cup win in December, right? It was in November, right? It was all Coco.
Yeah, but I mean, overall, she does well there.
So
she's still,
I don't know. She's still she had about it, right?
She had her classic Coco meltdown at one point, didn't she?
Yeah.
They can't take that girl nowhere.
She was beating rackets while the audience was cheering her on, which basically confirmed to her that that's what we teach kids in America.
Right. Whatever.
Rackets.
Venus looked good.
She did. She looked like she was ready to tighten her ship up. She didn't look like she did in Australia. She wasn't sluggish. She was ready to be there. That was really cool. So we had.
I think that was actually her first wins for the year. No, she didn't win matches.
In some ways, right? Yeah, that's true, because she went.
She didn't play an Australian Open tune-up, did she? That's half the damn problem. Why she did so shitty in Oz.
That's what I did. But anyway, and
moving on
to the other, because
let me just say the score. So we had the Belarus versus Germany 2-3. The Germans took that. The Czech Republic took out the Swiss 3-1. The French took out the Belgians 3-2. And the U.S. taking out the folks from the Netherlands. So next time around, it's so interesting how the women's work, because the women's are right. Come April, they're right.
They play 8. Only 8 are in the top tier.
Yeah, they come to
16
already. Yeah, the men still have 16. So the women, it's going to be Germany versus the Czech Republic, which I think is probably going to be the Czech And then the US versus France. I mean, it's so sad about that, right? Depending on who's playing, I might be cheering for the Frenchies. It just depends on who's playing.
Oh my gosh.
Well, you might have no other choice because, Sloane not in the business of winning matches these days. So, hey.
Sloane's not even in the business of tennis. She's in the business of porn.
Stop. So I think, and I think this.
Got nothing. I got nothing.
I think the US are going to play the Frenchies in France. And I think are going to play the
That's gonna be rough, though. That's gonna be rough. That's gonna be rough.
They should put it on clay.
Especially if Coconut come out here with a nasty attitude. It's gonna be very.
Why wouldn't they put that match on clay though? That's what I would do.
Yeah, they should. Actually, anyone who plays the US should put it on clay. Men or women.
Yeah, remember Italy when Italy played Serena? They put that on clay and Serena almost lost her fucking mind against Irani. She was about to murder someone on that court. That was a tight, good match. Irani was
so think about it. So it's going to be April. It's going to be April 21st through that weekend. So you think Serena plays singles then? I mean, she should be ready, right, for that?
Theoretically.
I don't think she'll be ready. I think she needs to take a little time and work her way back up slowly. Your body. I mean, I've never pushed a child out my body, and I won't have one.
Yeah, but you have to realize that she was hitting balls deep into her pregnancy. So she hasn't, she hasn't been away completely that long. She should be ready by April. She had the baby
but she wasn't
September.
Training. She wasn't training the same way.
Well, we'll see what happens because she's going to Indian Wells, right? She's going to Indian Wells in Miami. So it's right after that. So
she's gonna pull out. She's gonna pull out.
No, I think she needs to start playing. Even if she doesn't do well, she needs to start playing. We hear over and over and over again that there is nothing comparable to match play, and she's got to come back at some point.
She's gonna do the thing that Taylor Fritz should be doing, pull it out.
Oh, stop. Because I think ultimately she would want to be ready for Wimbledon.
Yeah, that's true.
But she's got to play. She can't just come back for Wimbledon. She can't. That's stupid. I mean, she can, but it's not. I don't think that's the smartest move. So if she can get some match play under her belt, even if she doesn't do that well, at least she's playing. So I think I
don't know why you're so desperate for Serena to come back. I mean, according to the news I've been reading, the WTA is on fire.
Yeah, they're not on fire. You can't even watch them. They're stupid. You have fucking Caroline Wozniacki. Is she number one this week? It changes every day.
No, she's back to because Caroline lost. No, because she lost, it goes back to
Halep.
Who pulled out in the semifinals?
I mean, I don't know where this information is coming from that the WTA is on fire, but baby girl, you are wrong. That's it.
Listen, I follow reporters that cover the WTA, and it is apparently the most compelling the WTA has been in a while.
It's compelling because nobody can be consistent enough to stay on the fucking top.
And that's
I think it's because no one really watches the kid to say pull up receipts because it's like, oh, you're saying this compelling. All right, then I can't really tell you it's not compelling because I ain't watching it. I can't. So I think.
Well, I think it's still not very watchable for most people in the US. I think if
apparently it's available somewhere on YouTube. I've heard.
Oh, that. YouTube, really? YouTube? That's where we are. Sorry, not searching for tennis on YouTube.
In a marketplace where there are many sports to choose from,
get that shit on TV.
It's a mess.
I don't want to have to launch an app even on my TV to watch it. Put that shit on a network.
Funny? You know what's
easily accessible. Not VN.
Excuse me. I'm speaking to one of my best friends in the Caribbean, and I hear noise in the background. I'm like, "Are you watching tennis?" He's like, "I sure am on my TV," and he's ahead of me by 2 points, and I'm watching it on my computer. And that's crazy. And I was just like, "How are you getting to watch this?" Because I mean, back in the day, when tennis used to be on ESPN, no problem. We used to get a lot of tennis, right? That's how I know all the players. Particularly, we used to get the Master Series from round one, not from like the quarterfinals. You get from like nearly qualies, like first round. And I said, it can't be ESPN. He said, no, there's a Caribbean sports package, something like that, whatever. And they have all of
Nice.
this, and he's been watching tennis, and he was just like cheering on Quito this morning, and he was like, "Yeah," and he still gets to watch the Olympics just the same too on the television.
Well, they're special. So how was the so Quito seems to be back this week.
I wish she didn't come back in that ugly outfit, but that's a whole other topic. That outfit looked like bad sleepy time. It's
the whole thing is. Oh, actually, I liked it on her. So I think Petra has been on like a winning streak, like what, maybe like a 16-match winning streak now. Is that what?
16? She's playing that much tennis?
Yes.
So how you get there?
This is the thing. Petra's been winning matches consistently, but you know what?
Okay, so she won St. Petersburg. She beat Kiki.
Yep.
And she won this Doha. In Qatar. She beat some solid players. I guess she took out Wozniacki, and I was actually surprised because I thought she was gonna be dragged today. Because if you're going toe to toe and being exhausted by Wozniacki and you survive that battle, you're exhausted. you're gonna be done for the next round. But apparently,
wait a minute, you expected Wozniacki to take out Petra?
In terms of like if she was gonna keep Petra running and moving. Yeah, that's a winning strategy against Petra.
Petra hits too big of a ball for Wozniacki to handle.
It doesn't matter how big the ball of Petra hits; it's whether Petra's gonna hit the ball in the court.
Who won?
That's the issue. They played a very tight match, like 7-5 in the third set.
I don't care who won.
It was Petra won, but like I said, it was I think
that's my point.
She's on a 12-match streak. She hasn't lost since the Australian Open when Petkovic beat her. So she won St. Petersburg and she won Qatar.
Well, good for you, girl. Now go somewhere hot and train so you don't get fucked in the summer.
Well, she's probably gonna go to Dubai, maybe. But you know what? Honestly, I left with Caroline Wozniacki successfully up a set and a break. What the fuck happened?
That's what I'm saying is that Petra sat because Petra went down with the same issue with Muggs today. She had that same issue where Petra looked like she was exhausted and she was just like, they were pushing her around. They made her run, and Petra on the run is no fun. Yeah. And she was hitting some balls all over the goddamn place, like easy put away, whatever the case may be. But Petra just don't ever stop being Petra. So what she started to do was just like, what, I'm gonna stand and deliver. Yeah, and she stopped running. She just stopped running.
All you need to do with her.
Exactly. And she just got swinging, and this time around, it was hitting. It was hitting the box, and she started running Muggs all over the place. And then Muggs looked like he's flying all day, and that became the winning strategy for Petra. Like she was just like, "Wait a minute, this is not how the story is supposed to go, okay?" And I'm gonna stop running now. And she was able to take that match. I think by the third set, what's her name? Called her injury timeout, which was a mental timeout. And Petra was all over it. Conchita came down, and Conchita was trying to talk to her, and Petra called the coach down the first set, and I think she may have explained to the coach down the line, like, like my whole body hurts. I think he may have said, then stop running, okay? If you're ready, stop running. Stop running. Just stay your ass there, because apparently when you're running and you're trying to swing just the same way, you'll miss it. Okay? So you stand up and you just start swinging. I'm telling you. Petra swinging Petra could have been a baseball player and played for the MLB. I'm not even trying to front it. Petra.
Well, congratulations to her. She's back.
I mean, it was a solid match. I thought Muggs was gonna pull out and be like, "Oh God, I'm done with this shit." But she took that beating. I mean, because that wasn't a real injury when she called that train out. She was just like, "Girl, no, it was a Caro timeout, right? How about you put a little bandage below my knee and let's just see things might change." My advantage. But it was a solid match. I think the match that didn't happen, I would have been excited, was Halep versus Muggs, and she pulled out. But
why
I guess
is that exciting?
I mean,
what was Halep's? Was it her ankle again? She still hasn't gotten that taken care of, right?
Girl, I don't even know it's Halep. I know it's Halep. I just think Halep wake up anymore and just like, I don't feel it. Shit.
I agree with that 100%.
Why does she feel it? She got that Nike outfit. Look at the tragic mess in that peach thing. So why not? Congratulations.
And that's maybe why. That's another reason. She was just like, you know what? I'm gonna wait till we're in Indian Wells when we're not in this hot fucking mess. Nope, not only in the desert.
Oh my god.
I'm over this shit. But in Chinese Taipei, Babosh beat Kuzlova from Ukraine. And on the men side,
is having a nice little season, isn't she?
Yes, but no one likes her. No one really cares.
Season ever.
That's the sad part. That's the sad part about Babosh. No one cares. She tried to drag Venus, and for that bitch, you will forever be in the bad books.
Oh boy.
Can't come out of that book right about now. Can't. Unless you can't, you just can't.
Oh,
for the men in Montpellier, I mean, look,
We don't.
France
need
needs to stop having these French national championships because these tournaments in France just all an excuse. They need to stop calling it an ATP tournament and just the French championship because it's just French people all over the goddamn place ending up in the final.
I love it.
Lucas Pouille was getting his ass handed to him in the semifinals by Sanga, right? Ass handed to him. I don't know what happened to Sanga. Sanga decided he didn't want to go on. So I expected Gasquet to handle Luca Pouille, but apparently Gasquet was not about that life because Luca Pouille handled Gasquet in straight sets, and I was just like, Luca.
That was surprising because that's like Gasquet's home tournament in the sense that he lives there. It's like
Gasquet needs a new back. He's old.
It's Basil.
Maya would not have it. But I think
I'm punching her out for you just right now for you.
I think Luca Pouille is one of those people like a halab. You just like, wait a minute, I got a second life because I was getting dragged. Let me see what might happen out here if I try to make things a lot interesting. And Gasquet thought that he was gonna get the same lazy Luca that was in the semifinal, and then he got tripped up because Goffin run him ragged in that semifinal match. So that's what had happened. We have also winning on the men's side. We had Quito, which I think some Spanish people win. We don't care about that.
Oh my God.
Unfortunately. They're not even the Spanish people that we care about. We had Sofia in Bulgaria. We have Bacek versus Kapil, another tournament we don't really care about because I mean, like,
that was great though. Those are some great.
But you know what? I must say I'm happy that Scrubs are winning money. Yes. Finally, one of these smaller tournaments where I don't see a Marin Cilic, a Novak, a Nadal, and one of these people showing up in the and Murray trying to take these people a little money. We had Buenos Aires, Dominic Thiem show up and took out Bedeni. I expected Andreen Mann to handle Monfils to handle Dominic Thiem, but again, Monfils was just like not interested.
Monfils.
But I'm surprisingly Monfils didn't play any of the French championships. Monfils was in South America.
You know what? Monfils is trying a new strategy. I bet you this is all part of his team. It's like, listen, you need to get out of your comfort zone. You try some different things. Didn't quite work out. I mean, you got to a semis, I guess. But you know how finals and Monfils work. They don't go together.
Well, maybe he's preparing for the French Open. Maybe.
Good luck with that.
Oh, man.
I'm just
wow.
I'm trying to.
So Kevin Anderson came back and beat Sam Querrey in the New York Open.
Yes, he did. And that tiebreaker was a crush down. But beat down. He almost lost it 7-0.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Querrey almost lost it 7-0. But for the WTA, just look at that, right? You keep saying this shit don't happen. Here's the number 1 and this number 2 seed getting to the Long Island Open finals. It happened everywhere.
It's just too bad nobody was watching it. What was that?
But again, no one cares.
What, 75%?
But you know,
I mean, why are you beating around the bush?
Because we gotta
Come
deal
on.
with, you know, we did a warm-up act. But I have to say the most interesting thing about this match was watching Kevin Anderson and Sam Querrey was that they look kind of alike. They almost look like cousins.
Stop it.
I don't think that's a good
Stop
thing.
it right now.
I mean, they were both tall.
They both play the same
I blame Eugenina for this. They look like school cafeteria lunches when you don't pay your school bill. You get 2 main sandwich on court. Just say, Eugenina, you made this happen. This is all your fault. So this is like,
Congratulations, Kevin Anderson, though, because Kevin Anderson is back to winning ways. He's
yes. This is like his third
No,
tournament, or probably his third finals or some shit like that. Oh, I don't
No,
care, but
because
you know
he
what?
took remember, I was being very nice and giving Kevin Anderson a chance at a long run in the Australian Open. He was like, "Nope, thank you very much. I'm going to go out soon as I."
But you know what, Andre? No matter how bad that pick is, that is not as bad as our good friend here, Janina. Christina McHale is going to save us from.
Shut your mouth. Shut your whore mouth right now.
Okay,
I can't wait for the end of year season to talk about that. But of course, the only tournament we gotta talk about, or the only tournament that was actually covered. Well, no, that's not true. Long Island Open was actually covered, but there was nobody in there to really confirm whether there was a real roof or not a real roof. Just saying, we were in.
I think we have
Rotterdam.
to say, wait. I think we have to seriously talk about the fact that people brought a tournament to Long Island, New York, and like nobody.
Girl, that looked like the WT in China. Ain't nobody was there.
But
But the difference is the WT in China is still cashing checks. I don't know.
That is true. That is true. And they do have big names there. But I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about the numbers. You know, I'm not talking about the numbers.
Audience.
I'm just talking about the audience. I was just like,
who thought it would be a good idea to have a tournament in Long Island? Like, who thought this was a good idea? Like, it's not even easy to fucking get there.
Well, I think for suburban people and some MAGA people, you know, it does seem to play in that demographic. You're getting a whole bunch of American boys there. And the other thing too, football is over. So I think people could have something to do on that Sunday evening.
Whatever.
But I just think it wasn't marketing well.
Listen, football's over. I'm not slipping into tennis. I love tennis, but let's not be irrational now.
Right.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that people are gonna watch it on TV. Come on, I'm not that crazy. I'm talking about people who are gonna come. And I mean, it's perfect timing, right? Because the Olympics isn't happening during that time. No. Olympics is happening at night, right?
You know what they needed? What they need is a fabulous gay tennis player on par with Adam Rippon, right? That's what you need. You need
a
don't start that. Don't start that with me now. The Homosexuality Podcast is now playing in those marketing fuckery and trying to sell homosexuality like it's a marketing gimmick.
Stop it. Moving on.
Okay, thank you. So, yes, the real tournament du jour, and we do have some news about Long Island event too. Because of course, no American people just can't, white people just don't stop showing themselves to be MAGA at any particular moment in time. But of course, the big piece du jour was that the roofers were all about Federer decided to show up in Rotterdam. And oh my God, that was a thing. He's not going to Dubai. Yada, yada, yada.
People are so angry.
Girl, I loved it. They're beyond salty at this point. They just got on raw. They're just like, no, that's not dinner raw. What's that word? They got rabies. They're rabid. There's some fucking rabid haters out there. Y'all on a different level, okay? And this is coming from a judicious hater, okay? This judicious hater is saying some of y'all motherfuckers out there are rabid haters. And y'all need to get that shit checked. Or someone have to put y'all down and get it. Y'all can't be on Twitter anymore. Y'all are fucking crazy. But Federer decided to play Rotterdam instead of playing. Well, he said he might have play Rotterdam, then play Dubai.
He's left Dubai open.
He left Dubai open, but I think he confirmed that he's not going. Rotterdam is a 500 ATP 500. ATP WTA again, I'm telling you, fix the fucking number ranking system. Okay, see how easy it was for me to fix that with ATP? ATP 500. Boom, we know what's happening here. And Dubai as well is an ATP 500. Not everyone's going on. He's just going there because the roof closed, whatever. So fucking what? Nobody's trying to tell Rafa to go win all his title on grass, are they? He goes where he knows his strength. So even if that was Federer's game plan, so the fuck what? The other issue too, Federer got 4 children, okay? He has 4 children and the girls are like going to school. Maybe he don't want to be that far from his kids that often. Rotterdam is closer to Switzerland than it is to Dubai.
Hey, we're not.
But nonetheless, Federer showed up. And the thing about it is that Federer showing up here was that he was, by getting to the semifinals, I think it was, that's all he needed to do. He was assured of getting the #1 ranking.
Yeah, once he won the quarterfinal match.
Yeah, once he won to the quarterfinal, yes. So, and that just sent the rabid haters over the fucking edge. They were chomping at the bit. They were like drooling and like they were They were fucking crazy. And I loved it. I love every bit of it because, you know, they just mad because maths work. They were just mad that math is a thing and simple addition was gonna undo their fucking crazy chats and all the fucking graphs. That simple math was all that was needed. Federer showed up. He get 200 points to get to the semifinals or something along those nature, or like 80 points, or 70, 80, I don't know what happened. And he was going to be number one. It might have been a week. It might could be last for a week, whatever. He was still going to be number one.
Well, I think by winning now, he guarantees that he's number one for 4 more weeks.
That's even better. Even better.
There's no way that Rafa can dethrone him, even if he were to come back and win Acapulco, which I seriously doubt. Because you know Sam Querrey, that's his favorite spot to be Rafa.
and he's feeling a little salty that he got undone by Kevin Anderson. So, hey, and that's going to be hardcore as well. So that's going to be a little tough for Vidal. But hey, it's just Vidal. I never believe in any of his injuries. I always believe if there's any superhero on the tennis tour, it's Vidal. And Novak Djokovic. They're unbreakable, indestructible, if you ask me.
Not anymore. Those were old narratives. Now those old narratives need a new redo. They need a redo. That is not the case anymore. But I mean, really, honestly, though, the ATP is like the broken down tour. The broken down.
Wait. What are you talking about? Novak is trying to tell me he have an elbow injury and come up here with a bandage on his wrist. Girl, I know body parts, okay? I know how this works. Like, I know how these things are supposed to work. So believe you me when I tell you, Novak is indestructible, okay? Physically. As I've always been saying, Novak problem is a mental thing. He thought that when he got to number one and he won everything, that's something magical, like he was going with some secret passage to life and whatnot. And all he found was that juicing is make you fucking hungry and angry. That's all he realized when he got that French Open title. And then shit got real. Just saying. I have seen no other chat, no graph, no tweet, no nothing could convince me of anything else. Okay? He showed up with a mysterious elbow injury that came out of nowhere. His fans didn't even know anything about it, but they create some fake backstory. And then guess what? Novak proved them as they're fucking bunch of fucking crazy people by showing up with a wrist bandage. So, just saying. I think I got the measure of the situation down pat. Okay, I think I know what I'm talking about here. But yes, so Federer is number one again. And ladies, how do we feel about that?
I think it's
I'm laughing.
I think it's great. Well, I mean, the thing is, it was sort of inevitable, right? Because if if he had played his cards right, he could have been number one in December.
Yeah.
So it's not. I mean, it was a given. It was a given that was going to happen. And Rafa's body needs to take a break for the clay, which is where he's going to do the most damage. So, I mean, I think my sense is that these guys are going to probably go back and forth for a while, and you will probably end up with Cilic as the number one at the end of the year.
That's exciting. That's exciting. But you know
what?
Are
you being serious right now?
Well, you know what's so funny about it? Cilic is number 3. Doesn't really defend that much until the end of the year, really, right? If Rafa's knees and body isn't tight in the clay, those ranking points goes tumbling down. Similarly with Federer, I mean, Federer kind of gives himself a little bit of cushion by repeating the Australian Open and winning this 500, but he still has to defend Indian Wells and Miami. But the good news for him,
in Wimbledon.
Well, but the good news for him is
he doesn't play anything between India and Miami, and
exactly
till the grass shows up.
He can collect points in the clay season if he chooses to play clay. So I mean, actually,
but I don't think he's going to do that because Federer is a hater and he's a troll, and he's going to be like, "Motherfuckers, I ain't playing clay anymore." What y'all can do about that, right?
Yeah. So I mean, the thing about it is, it's really unclear. I mean, I laughingly say it could be Cilic, but he is the 3rd ranked player now, and if those two guys' body fall apart or something happens, he could easily sneak up in there. He could be like Burditch used to be, which is just be really solid, have some good results, and have good ranking. Which I think is amazing, because whoever thought that you would put Cilic with a better shot of getting to number 1 than say Stan?
Stanley did. Stan would have told you that ages ago. I need to tell you that right now. But I have to say though, what I do find so interesting about this whole crazy talk from the roofers and the diva dollars and whatever the fuck other crazy irrational Trumpish ways you see on the internet is that they're out here trying to put an asterisk next to Federer's #1 ranking. So this man has worked his ass off all of 2017, right? Yes, he didn't play clay, but he played everywhere else. Okay, he played everywhere else. He came back and defended his Australian Open title.
You know, here's the thing.
See a problem, but wait, they see a problem with that Federer being #1, but will gladly clap and ring a round of applause for Simona Halep just stumbling over into the #1 position.
Right.
They got nothing to say about that. They would defend. They would climb they would match up a hill, fight that battle. That Simona Halep is a legit #1. And there is no standout moment for a whole fucking year. And she retired in the semifinals and just rolled over into #1 because Wozniacki lost in the semifinals. Tell me how that work. Explain to me how that make any sense.
I think people need to be more concerned. People need to be more concerned about the fact that Federer skips an entire portion of the year and can still be #1. What does that really say about the rest of the tour? Come on.
They don't do math. Again, this is all about math. It's numbers. It's addition. Numbers. This is how this works. Okay? They're picking your... I don't understand people getting mad. Federer is #1.
But they're pissed because, he picked this up. He wasn't going to play this, so he's going for the #1 ranking. So the fuck what? So what? Why should he?
He has ambition.
Why should he not
call
that?
Ambition. Why
is that not okay?
Some of y'all fave needs to get that, okay?
Federer rolling up in this tournament to only play for the #1 ranking and taking things away from people who would have won if he wasn't around. When did that become a valid argument? In what world does that make any sense? He's supposed to not do what he wants to do for his career so that someone else can win?
Girl,
I'll tell you why Federer went to Rotterdam. Federer wanted to show his daughter, who said, "Why are you going for this trophy and you're in the #1? It's Rafa." She wanted to say, "See, I got a trophy and I got #1." Okay?
The dodgy ass trophy, though. She's going to be like, why does it look like a plate, though? I thought
she don't care. Daddy don't care. Daddy's got plate knows math.
It's just also weird. Like, I don't understand.
And she's going to count the points and she's going to see Daddy has more points than Rafa.
As much as I can't stand Novak, I cannot expend copious amounts of energy trying to figure out why he does or doesn't do what he does or doesn't do. Like, why don't people have better things to do with their time than that? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. You've got these Rafa fans and these Novak fans who are legit angry that he played a tournament that allowed him to regain the #1 ranking. I can't wrap my mind around that. I can't.
Meanwhile, they have nothing to say when Rafa showed up at the World Tour Championships, extremely injured, according to him and his camp, so that he can maintain the #1 ranking by playing a match or winning a match. Because they had nothing to say about that. That was bravery.
That's what I was going to say. Like, if this was your fave and they did this, you would, or if they chose not to, you would be excited if they did. You would be pissed off if they didn't, because you always want your favorite to be #1 if they, I mean, if that's within reach, unless your favorite is, I don't know,
Stanley.
Listen, you know what? Honestly,
it just doesn't make sense to me.
Listen, these things don't make sense. And honestly, the thing that's really strange about all of this is that I was talking to a friend about it, and I was saying how tennis Twitter is just horrendous right now. And she's like, "Why do you think that is?" I was like, it's the anonymity. It really is. I mean, 9 out of 10 of those people, they don't have images on their profile. You know nothing about them. You can't find them in real life. Really.
Are you talking about me?
No, I mean in general, like a lot of people. And so that's real. I
didn't think about that.
Yeah, it's real. Janina, you and I are real people online. So
when I first joined Twitter, the majority of my followers and the people that I followed, I think, did have their own pictures up.
Yeah, it was real.
It was more common.
It was more common.
You're right.
And so because you're a real person, you still hold to social graces. But when you don't actually have to defend who you are online, you don't actually have to put a picture up. Nobody knows you. If a friend finds you, if your colleagues find you, you can just rant and rave and say all kinds of strange things online. And I really believe that that's what you're getting. You're getting sort of like really the dregs in terms of like content. And unfortunately, because of the way tennis media works now, the dregs then finds its way into legitimate media spaces, because that's the wonderful thing about Twitter is like they hear things. And so, I mean, when I'm hearing conspiracy theories around tennis, whichever they may be, being picked up by legitimate, quote unquote, legitimate media sources, I'm like, how the hell is that happening?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, but I mean, people really need to think about these things. Like a friend and I, we talk about it like media as virus. These memes or these stories are viruses, and their intention is just to get picked up. So you throw a conspiracy out there. It doesn't make sense if it doesn't matter. Even if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't matter. You just want it to have legs. And as soon as somebody taps into it, nowadays I look online and I just go to my mentions and a few sane people, and the rest I just leave. I really do, because people have gone down a black hole. And my thing is, just admit that you're upset or depressed that your favorite isn't playing. I would respect that more. Say, you know what? I'm real bitter. My favorite's got an ankle, knee, whatever missing, and I'm pissed off because this would be a great time for them to be getting points, getting trophies, all that. Just say that. But when you're like this, you know, when you're despair, you know what I mean? Like everything that they're doing is really just despair. You're sad because your favorite is injured and you're worried that your favorite might not come back. That's a human reaction. So be human and say that. But instead, what you do is you spend the next whatever breaking down people who are happily feeling okay with their bodies for the moment and doing well and taking advantage of that. I don't really understand that. That doesn't make any sense to me.
It doesn't make any sense.
As our favorite, one of our fan favorites, Debsy, y'all should be out there burning sages instead of fucking doing chats.
I mean, listen, that's
for your favorite recovery. I don't get this.
I'd be focusing all my positive energy on the person that I care about on the tour, and I would certainly not take up that much space. But as I've always said, everyone I know is either a Federer fan or an ex-Federer fan. And that's really, he's the north. He's the compass for them. He is true north. And whether you hate him or love him, he's still the person that you fixate on. And so that is what it is, you know. And I think they have to just acknowledge that inside of themselves, that you think about him often because he is tennis in your mind, at least ATP tennis. He is that compass for you. And, you know, it's too bad you can't enjoy the ride, but at the same time, your experience is continually defined by him. So you should probably think about what to do about that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's similar.
Pre-tangerine.
Is that the case on the WTA side? Do people feel like Serena is the true north?
Yes.
I don't think it works out that way for some of them, because I think people have been dying for a true north that came from, you know, that is white and blonde. I think that's always been a compelling story.
Well, it's the north that they don't want to admit is the north.
That's the true north. And so this idea then that the WTA is more vibrant than ever without a Serena is interesting.
Because we all know it's a goddamn lie.
I don't know.
Well, you know what? It's not a wait. It might not be, but let's just look at it a different way. It might be a lie in the true context of the world, but in their bubble, in what they like, this makes sense. But it didn't translate into dollars and cents. It doesn't have any real stake in these things, like how we measure these things, right? When I say we, how tennis popularity is measured, right? Are people watching it? Are people getting to see it? Are people caring and compelling? And is it trending on Twitter? Now, one of the metrics. And it's not doing any of those things.
Not even trending on Twitter. I mean, I'm like, am I even seeing it covered in regular spaces? Like, I mean, honest to goodness, I mean, I think it's really great. I feel jealous for the people who can find the WTA without paying extra money. But that's not me. And that's not going to happen until Indian Wells, when somebody is going to be paying for us to see a little bit extra WTA on the Tennis Channel, which I will appreciate, and maybe ESPN. So, I mean, that's when I tune in. You know, life is too busy right now for me, so I'm not doing a lot of goal searching.
She hunting for the WT. That's all she's saying. WT. She ain't hunting for you.
I'm not. You know what? Like, you know what? There's so much out there, so many ways to be entertained, and I like it, but I don't love it enough to go on like
YouTube,
like a heat seeking. No, come on. Life is too hard for that. We all need to find our ways to get pleasure, and that's not it. So that's not going to happen for me. You know, so we'll see.
So yeah, Roger Federer is number 1. Bitches, deal with it. Let's talk about
the numbers thing. You can build a chart on it too.
Yeah, please build a chart. We have 10 minutes.
Yes.
We need to discuss Sloane's porn career.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
the fuck is
okay?
I don't know if it's a porn career, but I have to say, I showed those pictures to a couple people, and the initial impression is you remember those really really like salacious
glamour shots
that was done in like a studio with cheap lighting.
Glamour shots.
It's so bad. Those did not look like really professionally taken pictures at
that
all.
Was my issue with the pictures. Listen,
so bad.
That wig, I mean, look, I'm just gonna say this, okay? I'm a gay man, so I don't have the same appreciation for the feminine body as perhaps, you know. I mean, like, I certainly won't see it as in sexy, like, oh my god, I want to see, but I think she's so small than her. I just won't. But what drew my eye right off the bat? That wig. The fuck was that shit?
Beyond the
that wig was just hideous.
I have a great appreciation
so bad
for the female body. Love it. It's beautiful. They managed to
make it look bad.
Sloane is gorgeous. That woman is stunning. She is just sheer beauty. She's beautiful. She has beautiful features. She has beautiful dark chocolate skin. I mean, there are so many things that could have been done to them pictures, and that should have been done. Whoever looked at those should have never let them be published.
No,
she's not tall, and they made her look shorter. When you take pictures like that, it's always you always want to elongate the body. Why? Because taller people look better. That's just what we like as a society.
Photograph.
Clothes look better on you no matter how many or how little bit of them you're wearing. When you're looking taller, you look better. They managed to make her look shorter because she's not a big woman. She's not tall, but she looked shorter. Her face looked lifeless and dead. We've all spent time watching America's Next Top Model in one way, shape, or form somewhere. Sometime. And Tyra Banks would always talk about the eyes. And that popped out to me. She's like, you know, you can be beautiful. You can have a gorgeous body. But if your eyes look dead, if you cannot go to somewhere in your mind and make your face look alive, your photograph looks flat. And I didn't see one photograph of her that didn't look flat.
You know,
they just were bad. It was just bad photography. It had nothing to do with her. It's not her fault.
Styling, bad concept. I mean,
that fishnet thing that she wore, that was not for her. That was for a tall, slender woman. That made her look like she had a gut. And Sloane Stephens does not have a gut. But somehow that made her look fat almost. I mean, there was one bad decision after another, from the angles, from the lighting, from the clothing choices, from that fucked up wig. It looked like a genuine wig.
It was a mess. It was just a mess.
And you know who liked it? You know who liked it? Straight men liked it because they saw some booty. That's it. That's it.
But to me, that was what pissed me off the most. That, I mean, like, I didn't want to go. I mean, like, I wanted not to say anything because, you know, for many different reasons, you know, I felt that, you know, like, young woman, she's trying to do, you know, she's winning at life. She won at the US Open, didn't win anywhere else after. But, and what really upset me the most is how I felt that those pictures were exploitive. They just felt like someone. I don't know. I just wasn't comfortable.
I don't know what the fuck they exploited because they weren't good.
They just felt that, you know, like she thought, and the thing that really is that she thought that they were cute. That she was really gung-ho about these pictures.
I know she put herself in the wrong hands though, because those were not people who put her in an attractive light.
Exactly. There was no care about it or to care to show her body or to accentuate it. I'd hate to make this comparison because I don't want it to be a black and white issue. But look at the pictures that they put out for Jeannie.
Jeannie looked better. They shot Jeannie better.
Jeannie knew what fit her body. There was excitement in Jeannie's face.
Jeannie knows how to do that.
Like there was a better concept. They have this beautiful girl in front of a rock. What the fuck is Sloane in front of a rock? They have an extra fucking horse. I almost lost my shit when I saw that picture. Are you fucking kidding me? You have a black woman next to a fucking white horse? No, you be out of your fucking minds. Out of your fucking mind. I was just like, you know what, Sloane?
Move on.
I can't even. And the less I say about it, I won't hurt people's feelings. But girl,
I'm almost at the point where I think it's not okay that she's lost matches for those picks.
Almost. This bitch hasn't won a match since fucking September. You should have been way.
But I've been giving her a lot of room because I knew
I don't know why.
I knew she was probably doing stuff like this. And
look,
when you're
Sloane, what is happening
in American culture, a swimsuit issue is like some sort of a big deal for women. You know it is. So I know that this is probably like something that she thought was great. And it makes me sad that it wasn't great. So
and that's what really and it looked I could have seen this in I felt like this was
I'm interested to see. Are people gonna agree with us? Are they gonna? I think it was just bad.
Actually, I'm hoping that we'll be the trigger for the things that they really wanted to say but couldn't say. But Sloane, let me just say this, girl. If you're gonna take the Anna Ivanovic route from winning a major, which is what it seems to be like you're doing, Anna got better photographers. So find yourself some better photographers.
Get a better photographer.
Girl, get yourself a better wig specialist. Okay.
So it's time to wrap it up.
Yes, move on.
What are we looking forward to?
Well, the other big major issue, let's not ignore this. There was a big issue between Donald Young and Ryan Harrison. Donald Young went on to the Twitter and made statements to the accusation that he said, let me see if I can pull up the actual tweet. And
so there was a dusticuff in the match itself, so much so that the chair umpire had to come down and try to intervene. Something happened, but the mic wasn't loud enough for us to hear. So afterwards, Donald went on
Young tweeted, I'm shocked and disappointed, Ryan Harrison. He didn't at him, he just wrote his name. To hear you tell me how you really feel about me as a black tennis player in the middle of our New York match. I thought this was supposed to be an inclusive gentleman's sport of a Twitter storm, whatever the case may be. Some people felt that, you shouldn't come out and call him out on Twitter.
Wait. Speak clearly.
I'm sorry. People were just like, what is wrong with you, Donald Young? Well, people were just like, what happened? Like, what did he say? And Donald Young never responded to any of those tweets, as far as I'm aware, to say exactly what was allegedly said to him. And then people felt like, Donald Young, don't say this, don't you try to accuse. Actually, he didn't even use the word. He didn't say anything racist, actually. Now that I'm looking at the tweet, there was nothing
racist. He never said anything was racist. He said, you told me what you felt about me
as a black tennis player. Right. Exactly.
And then there was an investigation, apparently, by the ATP. I think they spoke to everyone that was in the space, including ball persons and chair umpire. According to them, they said they didn't hear anything that suggested that Ryan Harrison said anything racialized.
Exactly.
And that, however, they did admit that the mic on the court itself didn't catch whatever was said in some.
There was some allegedly malfunction. It wasn't really working. But the ball people said that he didn't hear anything. But no, again, reading comprehension is fucking fundamental, people. Donald Young never said that Ryan Harrison made any racial epithets to him. He didn't say that. So for the ATP to skew their investigation to say nothing racial was said, it clears to tell me one or two things may have happened. I don't know if from the investigation, it didn't seem like they ever spoke to Donald Young. That wasn't, they never said Donald Young claimed X to have happened, and we checked it out, and everyone said X didn't happen. Right? That didn't seem to come out from any of the report. But this is ATP. We know how to do these things, right? Well, this is major professional sport in tennis, right? But the assumption is that everyone felt that Ryan Harrison said something racist, and no.
Well, what did you expect the assumption to be other than that? He said, I mean, I don't agree with you here at all. No, Donald Young didn't come out and say that Ryan Harrison said something racist to him, but he said, thank you for letting me know how you think of me as a black man. And he was clearly disappointed. How else are we supposed to take that?
Well, that could be said as something to, what's the word? A microaggression. He doesn't have to necessarily say something.
Why, if Donald Young didn't feel like there was a negative racist comment made to him, why would he ever say, I now know how you feel about me as a black man?
Listen, I think part of what is challenging for people here, because first of all, let me just bring you back to the incident that happened with
Leighton Hewitt and James Blake.
Yeah, Leighton Hewitt, in the Leighton Hewitt and James Blake incident, Leighton Hewitt didn't say anything especially racist. He didn't use any terms that you would commonly assume were racist. He said, look at her, look at him.
Look at
what
him.
do they have?
And look at him.
Yeah.
And what do they have in common?
What do they have in common? That's all he said. There was nothing. So if you are sitting courtside and you're not a person of color, and you heard that, you wouldn't assume anything was racialized there. You might not. I would guarantee that's probably not what would happen for you. So when the ball person, because one of the ball persons I saw also went online and tweeted that nothing racist was said. Was said by Ryan Harrison. I'm suggesting that it wasn't the term that you normally would assume. Nobody said the N-word. Nobody said anything like that. But Donald Young perceived it to be racialized in some way.
But what I'm hearing is Reels saying that Donald Young didn't say that.
Well, but what I think what Reels is trying to probably suggest is that you can make a racist claim without using a racist word. Because I think people are expecting to hear that
Ryan
had said
overtly
along those lines. Yeah.
Okay, that's not. I just didn't feel like that's how you said that. Real.
Yeah.
No. What I said was that I said Donald Young said nothing. Donald Young never stated that Ryan Harrison said anything explicitly racist to him.
And then you went on to say that. So why is everyone assuming that's what it is? And I'm saying, of course, that's what we're assuming it is. What else would it be?
No.
Well,
because I said Donald Young never followed up to exactly the nature of the conversation, and also it doesn't.
Stop. And he doesn't deny that it wasn't said. That it was said. He simply has said he's choosing not to say anything anymore, which I actually think is quite smart, to be honest.
There was an incident with Serena. I think Serena was having an incident. I think she was playing at a tournament. I can't remember where it was. And a gentleman was in the stand saying something. I don't think he ever said anything racist. I could be wrong on that. But he kept saying to Serena, yeah, you go hit that ball. Just hit that ball like a... And he was making all sort of... I don't remember... I might not be an appropriate thing, but Serena then says to the chair umpire, get this man out of here. He's not going to be talking to me like this. As an African American in America, he's not going to treat me like this. So again, it's one of those incidents where nothing specifically quote unquote racist has to be said. He doesn't have to use the usual term. He doesn't have to go out of his way to be like, hey, we don't want your kind hair, etc., etc. But he could be the nature in which the behavior and attitude. And I mean, like, it's Ryan Harrison.
Well, and didn't someone say that? Was it John Wertheim who said that, basically?
I don't read his
stuff. Did you guys? It was a tweet. He didn't write about it. I knew I should have saved it and I didn't, but that was, I believe, and I'm sure someone will tell me if I'm wrong, that it was John Wertheim who basically, he came to Donald Young's defense in a way, because people were like, well, he didn't say anything or they didn't find anything. And I believe John Wertheim said, but this is Ryan Harrison and let's look at what he's done in the past.
I mean, what he's done with other people is he's made egregious comments that were, if not racialized, it was based on someone's ethnicity. Mm-hmm. It was based on countries where they're from. And it's always, but it's never explicitly a word that when you look at it, you're going to be like, oh my God, that's a racist thing. But
because you know what?
moment, he knows exactly what to say. And so when I hear people rush to say, like,
to Ryan Harrison,
to his defense, or say, because it's like these people are waiting for you to hear the N-word, and it's like, well, that's not, 9 out of 10.
It's so much more than that.
Yeah,
right. And also the other,
wait,
the other thing that the
Reels, can I just finish the point? 9 out of 10 times, 9 out of 10 times, these things are interactional. And I think the other thing is you have to trust the reporter. So I think it's easier for people to trust that Ryan Harrison can tell you he didn't say something racist than to trust Donald Young, who's an African-American person who can tell you when something is racialized. We don't have a history of trusting Black people when Black people tell you racist has happened to them.
Yeah, yes, we know. And that was the thing that's why I said that Donald Young never said that Ryan Harrison said anything explicitly racist to him or used an epithet, because what soon devolved from that situation then becomes, oh, Black people are always claiming racism when it never really happened. Yeah. And he's lying and he's faking and he's trying to make Ryan Harrison to a racist. When apparently the worst thing is to do is to call someone a racist when they're in fact doing racialized things. People think that is the worst thing. So that's why I was pushing back against that idea. And I would tell you there are other, I mean, like, we know how microaggression works. I remember once I was in class and this girl was talking about a rape that happened in a park that's near where I live. And she said, we were in class. This was in college, last year college. So it wasn't like freshmen, idiots running around. Forgive me, freshmen, you're not idiots, but you get smarter, yes, supposedly.
Say your story.
Okay, anyway. So we're sitting there and she's trying to say this thing about, the police. That police, and she says to the friend, but police are afraid of but I said, if this happens like on the border, she said, I said the police would be close by. Police ought to like generally patrol that area. And she said, no, police won't because they're afraid. I said, why would they be afraid? They have guns. And she said, they're afraid of, and she jotted out her chin and indicated to me. And I was like, everyone was just like, what the fuck? And she was like, what do you mean? She's like, police are afraid of like those people. And I was like, you think people of color are like superhuman that we can dodge bullets? If police see someone in the crime of attacking someone and the person refuse to get up, they would shoot the person. No, that is, again, she didn't say police are afraid of like the N-word or whatever the case may be, but she's making it for a generalized, racialized statement. And she didn't say any words per se, right? She just indicated to talk about it. So, I mean, those are things that happen all the time. Microaggressions, yada, yada, yada. So I'm not quick to, Donald Young didn't say anything. And I think it's right because it's going to devolve into a situation and people are off the mindset that Donald Young stated that Ryan Harrison stated something explicitly racist or use a pejorative term towards him. And he never said that. People are convinced that was that's what happened. And Ryan Harrison made that the narrative. And then he went on to say, oh, it's just the heat of the moment things happened. So he's admitting that something happened. There was clearly
said something insulting.
Something insulting was said. Everyone said that it was about the height situation, which, I mean, I don't know. Ryan Harrison.
That was the second part. That was the second part.
But he then, what was interesting for me, Ryan Harrison went out there and was just like, oh, these people are trying to stop me from this. We're out here in the heat of the battle and whatever, and they're trying to take away my livelihood. I was like, the fuck, kid? Y'all out here playing tennis. Like, what are you talking about? And this doesn't matter for your livelihood. You would have had way better results if your livelihood was your motivation. You would have been doing way better on tour than you have been doing at all. So I don't know what that story is about.
Well, nonetheless, I think the larger point we're trying to make is that I think it's really challenging to set a situation up where proof is going to be found from like an explicit statement. I think we have to be able to trust victims when they report something, but I can immediately imagine tennis finding that really challenging because tennis is going to be like, we need some sort of like objective framing. Right. It can't just be his.
In a context like this, only in a context
and again,
like this.
It's Donald Young. He isn't the most loved in the tennis world.
Well, he lost the match too.
It doesn't matter. We already know that he isn't well liked in general. especially not from the USTA. If Roger Federer said that someone said something to him and it was inappropriate, it wouldn't be questioned. We would believe it.
Well, it would have been handled differently.
It would have been handled differently, but everyone would believe it.
But it would have been believed.
It would have been believed. We don't believe Donald
First,
Young.
you have to believe him, and then you have to seek redress. Janine is right. Nobody believes anything happened that was untoward towards Donald Young. Nobody does. I mean, except for people who understand that folks of color or women. I mean, one of the things I think is interesting.
He's in general too controversial. Whether the controversy is real or imagined, he's too controversial.
But the thing about it is, we wouldn't have something, just as an aside, we wouldn't have
perfect victim. He's not the perfect victim.
Something like the Me Too movement if men and women saw the world the same way. Because women are telling men that they did something that was inappropriate. And if men, essentially that's what you have here. What you have here is Donald Trump.
Listen, I have to tell my white boss. I have to tell my white boss that it's inappropriate to call me Janae.
Yeah, that's those.
He doesn't understand why that's not funny.
Yeah,
she genuinely doesn't.
But
that's what we're dealing with.
It's funny. Today I'm having a conversation with my best friend, and you mentioned the Me Too movement. He spoke about an interaction with another man, and how the man said something to him, and it was something seemingly isolated, simple. But he said the way the man said it and how he moved about during the situation in terms of like touching him, he felt creeped out. The man said to him, like, oh, look at how you're big and strong and buff. And, and he said that just creeped him out. And I said, it's funny, right? It just seemed totally innocuous statement. It's someone saying, because in fact, he's giving you a compliment, right? And who doesn't want to be told, especially a man, you're big, strong and muscular. But it's just the way he is. It's all in context, right? And do you think if you're trying to tell that to someone else, do you think they would see the context by which you have explained it and explained to them fully how you felt creeped out? Because I assure you, when you go to that man and tell that man, hey, what you just did is inappropriate, right? He's going to be like, I don't get it. I don't understand what this is you're doing.
Because on the surface, the statement doesn't read a certain way, but it's within the context. It's the context of the moment. It's the tone of voice, and it's everything that's suggested. And in many ways, we've already seen that same behavior from Ryan Harrison across multiple situations. So in many ways, I would have, if I were the ATP, looking at this as a kind of discrete incident is interesting to me, because they don't look, if you remember, they didn't look at Nick's behavior discreetly. They looked at it as a sum of many things.
They pulled the player council into it. They got the player council on it quickly.
But the player council could choose to opt into this or not. They didn't. But all I'm saying is that they looked at his behavior over time.
As a whole.
As a whole. And they made a judgment call. But what's interesting in this moment is they took a discrete moment with Ryan Harrison and judged that, rather than the history of moments up till then, which would have led them to believe which would have led them to believe that something really probably uncomfortable and really bad happened. Because if they had looked at the sum of his behavior. However, we've gone about
he gets a pass because
he gets a pass, whatever the reasons are. I think he gets a pass because he has lots of friends behind the scenes. I think he gets a pass for many reasons.
Well, can I just say this? He gets a pass because everybody else who is in the position of power to judge the situation are approaching the situation just like how Ryan Harrison is approaching the situation, right? You didn't see the N-word, so it's not racist. And they all have similar mind view and worldview in situation. They're all white men.
That. I don't want to make that claim. What I'm just saying is when you set he set the situation up in a way that was a win. It was a win-win for him, because what you are assuming is that it was an obviously racist word. And I'm just suggesting, and I think what we're suggesting is that it might not have been an obviously racist word. It might have been something taken in the whole of the situation.
Right, I know.
Made Donald Young feel a certain way. And that's what I wanted to offer. I just wanted to offer that as a perspective. I'm not going to make a claim about who those people are, but I'm just saying, if you're looking at this as tennis fans and you're wondering how it could go so wrong, I think that's just something to consider, that it might have been a sort of microaggressive comment.
And the unfortunate thing is that now ATP come out in this manner and say, no, this never happened, etc., etc. and made it seem as if Donald Young is crazy, lying, and
Well, they were
intentionally
careful
vicious.
too. They were No, they didn't say that. They were very careful about it. They said they don't have anything to prove it either way. They were very careful about how they worded that. They didn't say,
but by
they
saying
said
it that way, it's like basically calling into question a rape victim, really.
yes,
So-
it is.
And also,
but they were very careful to not say it didn't happen. They didn't do that.
The other ball people who came out and all this thing was said, and the narrative is now, is he going to be victimized for saying he didn't hear anything or see anything that has happened? That's what I'm talking about. Ryan Harrison becomes like the victim because his statement.
No, it's not Ryan Harrison. He wasn't talking about Ryan Harrison. He was talking about himself as a victim.
Oh no. I'm saying, and also Ryan Harrison gets to play a victim when he's very much the aggressor in all of these situations and contexts.
I mean,
anyway,
I don't know what a planet Ryan Harrison is a victim. There's nobody that sees Ryan Harrison as a victim except
he's a white male in America, and that's all that needs to happen. He would always be seen as a child, as a victim, and he's not culpable for any of the crazy shit that he does. Someone else is responsible.
So on that note, we're done.
So was there anything else that happened over the? I mean, one news item was that Tomas Berdych, similar to Roger Federer, retired from Davis Cup action. They have promised not to. I guess according to them, they're letting you know no more.
Well,
Davis
I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to tell you why both of them are lying fucks. Because Roger Federer has made it clear in many ways, shapes, or form that if he's still around, he's going to play the next Olympics. He has said that that's not out of, that's not out of the realm of possibility. So he'll have to play in order to qualify.
He don't have to play. He has to make himself available. He doesn't have to play.
Well, he'll be around. He'll be around. But the problem with that is going to be
either
he ain't going to play anymore.
I don't think any of those people are lying because I don't think any of those people are going to play the Olympics.
They probably won't, but if they're around, why wouldn't they? So, and then they'll have to be available. You're right, available for Davis Cup, and then everybody's going to go batshit crazy because they said they weren't doing it anymore.
And would you care? Would you care?
I don't
no,
flying
exactly. I just like to see them flaunting over there in their land of Trumpish behavior because they're stupid. The only thing I get worried is when they start having dangerous idea and they start criminal doing some fucking crazy shit because. Since I don't know how to solve Trump problem, I don't know how to solve these people's problem. So I'm just gonna let facts and guide me.
When you say these people, you have to claim. You have to make a claim. What are you talking about?
The roofers and the graphers and those people. That's what I'm talking about. With the crazy. Who's gonna get mad?
I'm going to make a promise to you all to see Black Panther this week, and we will have a Black Panther special. And I say we do it live.
Oh yeah, that'll be fun. Because I know O has seen it, I'm sure, a few times.
I know at least twice. I believe that motherfucker from what I understood. And yes, I'm calling you that motherfucker because he did tell me on my birthday that he wished his best frenemy a happy birthday. So I'll call him that motherfucker. I kind of feel like he watched it, walked out of the theater, and walked right back in. I think he watched it back to back. I really do.
That's the only way to visit Wakanda repeatedly.
Exactly.
So I think that's it. Upcoming this week is
Dubai for the WTA Budapest.
Yes.
We have another French national championships in Marseille. And we have American national championships in Delray Beach.
Oh, Delray is a nice group of people. It has Chico.
And I got my boo Hyun is there, supposed to make a comeback. And we have Rio de Janeiro, which will not be visited by Rafa this year. David, I won't be there this year. No. But I believe Dominic Thiem would be down there trying to snatch another clay title.
We'll continue on. And again, before we wrap it up, Fed, thank you so much. Thank you for trying. Thank you for trying, really. Thank you for Thank you for being like a really fun,
thank you for being you,
engaging story. I know not everybody's feeling it, but you know what? It's been kind of dark and depressing in other spaces. And you've just been showing up, playing tennis and loving life. And that's all we can ask for
carrying the banner. And I have to say, Fed, you can go home and tell your daughter, girl, you get no lunch this evening. because Daddy
And
just might
also,
snatch your away.
congratulations to Venus for basically carrying the heavy on the Fed Cup team. I mean,
Yes, and she did it lightly too. She did it lightly.
No,
No 3-set drama.
This is the week of the old folks, and I love it.
I love it too.
I keep wanting that to continue. Keep doing it. More and more of it, please.
Yes.
Listen, we don't have them forever. People are like raging.
Yeah.
In about a year.
Time is a ticket. Enjoy it.
Gone.
But you know what? You know what? Tell your faves to do better. Just tell your faves to do better and be better. If y'all don't want Federer featuring winning, tell your faves to do better.
They can't fucking do it.
I mean, Federer isn't pushing anybody down to get where he gets. So he's playing the match through the rounds, whether under the roof,
I don't know about what
out
you're
in
saying.
the sun, or at night.
You look
He's
like you
getting it
pushed
done.
Grigor down. You pushed Grigor down big time. Listen,
Oh,
it's
yeah, I
indoor
gotta
tennis.
say.
Don't care. Stop giving these people breathing room. Stop giving them air. It's indoor tennis. It's played on the roof. That's why it's indoor tennis.
Right.
It's
But I gotta say,
freezing in Rotterdam.
Grigor did come out hot though. Grigor came out hot. this
Grigor
month.
was injured.
and
Whatever.
then
Apparently he was injured, and apparently his coach told him thank you for even completing the match. That's
Oh,
what I
that's-
read today. So
that's-
whatever. That's fine.
I don't
I don't
believe
care.
that. I don't
We'll
believe
believe
that.
it.
Federer was
I'll
taking in
believe
those long rallies.
I'll
But anyway.
I'll believe it. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. He said he didn't want to take
Yeah, Grogo, you got two pieces and no biscuit. You got 6-2, 2-6, 2-6.
Oh my God. Goodbye.
And thank you. So Federer, because you know Federer just ain't got win in the number one by like 5 points. He's the number one for like 4 weeks. So that's amazing. Hopefully he's not gonna get that in his head because that's all we're concerned about.
Rack those numbers.
That's all I'm concerned about.
That's all you do. Rack them up until you,
Yes.
you leave. That's what you do.
Math is our friend, people. Math is our friend. Just get
Amen.
with it, program, okay?
Amen.
Tell your faves to win more points. So thank you, ladies. See you next time. We'll probably be on. Will be when we are in Wakanda. Because I don't really see anything interesting here. That's what the podcast for next week. I'm just saying. I don't know.
We'll get it done. I promise. I promise. All right. I promise.
Okay.
All
Janina.
right.
We're holding you. And people, fans, please get on our ass about it because I assure you,
No,
Andrina,
trust me. I
been
have enough of
trying
it in my
for
mentions. Do not
years.
get in my ass. I've got enough.
Janine,
Enough.
Andrina and I have been trying for years to get this lady to a movie theater, not just to drop her child off, but
Bye.
to go in and buy a ticket and sit down and watch a movie.
Why
So
are you telling my
please.
business?
Okay. So Janina will be will succeed in going to Wakanda. And then when she gets there, she'll realize she never wants to leave. So that's gonna be real fun for her. And we all will see and talk to you in most likely 2 weeks for tennis, but for Wakanda 1 week.
Yeah, and don't forget, people, to check out one more thing is to check out the hashtag Arctic Circle, which is myself, Pablo, Maya, and Ola Emmanuel giving you the best breakdown of the Olympic figure skating event. So check us out. We're the Arctic Circle. We are judging, we're dragging, and we're giving you the true ranking, okay? And there have been some emotional times for reals because his pair team that he wanted to win didn't win by fucking half a point. But that's not really. So thank you very much for tuning into our 113 podcast. And don't forget that Federer is number one again at
Woo, woo.
fucking 36. Bitches, please get your faves to do better.
He can't help himself. He can't help himself. He's just a giver.
But you can.
That's what he does.
You
That's
can.
what Federer does. He gives.
And tell your faves to learn the path of the body. If it's elbow, it's elbow. If it's wrist, it's wrist.
Oh
Just
my
don't
God,
get it
you're
confused.
Goodbye.
Bye.